Welcome back in this update, and this one's going to be about a potential, more like a snow. It's a snowstorm slash not a snowstorm. It honestly depends how much snow happens with it. I do think, to me, this is kind of like a snowstorm. You should take it like that. This is my first snowfall map for tonight. Tonight's going to be a snowy night across these areas shaded in these colors. If the further north you go, actually, on this, the less snow you get, and the further south you go, majority you get actually more snow. If you guys are in the Philly, New York, even Baltimore, Washington D.C., even Washington D.C. has been going up in totals, but a lot of things been going on today with the models, and I'm very excited. I honestly could consider it a winter storm because it could lead out to being a minor winter storm across the Northeast. So before we even get into any of the models and why I'm thinking this, is let's go with the lighter blue, at least 1 to 2 inches. This could even maybe go up even more north, just depending. I'll have another video tonight that's going to be a lot more detail. Then we got the second shading of blue. If you guys are from Pennsylvania, pretty much border or right near the line from 2 to 4 on south. Connecticut too, more like of the southern parts of Connecticut and the New England area. New England, you guys are really not going to get hit on this one, but maybe a few inches at most, I would say. And then we go with that 4 to 6, and this has been trending north. All right, if you guys are pretty much split New York City, south of New York City, we can see about fours, even some fives mixing in the picture. This is why I'm going with 4 to 6 in the dark blue. Same thing with central and southern Pennsylvania. I'm thinking 4 to 6 inches is possible out of this. So this is why I'm saying this is pretty much like a minor winter storm, but not big as the other one. Other one I'm going to be having a video for the recap. I haven't had time to really put it together, so that's why it's a little bit more delayed. Then we go just south of the Pennsylvania border. A pretty sharp cutoff, but not. So if you guys are just north of Washington, D.C., I say 2 to 4 inches, very likely. But 1 to 2 inches for like Washington, D.C. on north. All right. If you guys are in the mountains and a little bit, I might even be able to extend this in the next update over here more because they do have more of that potentially locally 8 amount. But I think this is going to overproduce. If we look at snowfall totals from other areas that are seeing the storm right now, it's been honestly on the high end of the totals that they were forecasting. So we look at the last 24 hours snowfall map. Here it is. Let's go take a look where the storm is. The storm is just south of Chicago. So, yeah, you see all that blue right there? That's where the storm is pretty much coming from. This is that moving side. If you guys are pretty much a lot of in the Bismarck, pretty much 2 to 4 inches. But as this been getting stronger, we've been getting higher reports up to 5, probably even up to 6 inches now in these areas. And they were only supposed to get 2 to 5. So now for them potentially ending with 6 or 7, hey, that's overproducing. So that's why I'm going with those type of totals on my snowfall map. All right. Now let's take a look at the European. We're going to take a look at a few models and then pretty much wrap it up because I do have to get this out before going to work. I'll have another video later on around 8 or 9, closer to the storm time, but definitely on the forming right now. It's been getting it on radar. It's some very heavy snow bands. Even on, I have some like tweets we can look at. It's been tweets going on Twitter and social media of 1 to maybe 2, maybe closing in on 2 inches an hour in some of these heavier snow bands. Because this low has honestly been a little bit more aggressive and stronger. And the low's not going to be going into bomb cyclone mode, but being back here and bringing that much snow, the snow is expected to actually get heavier. Those blues on radar are supposed to get darker, and the low's going to continue to develop. And you can tell in these purples, very heavy snow. And the Euro, there it is. It's a quick mover, but definitely bringing some snow with it. pretty interesting. I mean, I think Bullseye Maxes here could be a bit on the higher end. I do think right now how has looked. I think this can definitely do a bit more, but this is the latest Euro, and I mean, it has 1 to 2 inches all the way up here. That's why I'm saying it's very interesting. But if you guys are in Northern PA, at least 2 inches now with the Euro. Just in the Poconos on South, you're looking at 2 to 4. But in these areas, maybe up to 5, 6 inches. This is pretty much that. It doesn't show the crazy amount of snow here, but it shows some type. I think the Euro is a little underdoing it, but still, on average, everyone getting 2 to 4 inches is pretty much the likelihood at this point. Now, let's go take a look at some of the models. All right, we're gonna take a look at the newest her model coming out, and I do not have one of the websites, so we're actually having to use this Tropical Tibbets. Sadly, it's still good. It's just COD comes out with other models too, but they are doing some matrix on the models. But as you look, potentially that snow begins to come in around 10 o'clock, potentially 11 Eastern PA, probably more like 9, 10 o'clock tonight, and then it's snowing all the way into 1 a.m. We're going into 4 a.m. It's still snowing. So we have a good amount of hours here. So we're doing this. Let's say if you guys are in Eastern PA, it starts around 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you guys get some of those snow showers. That's 6 hours of pretty heavy snow. And remember, this ain't the strongest low, but look at what happened last time. And this ain't no 8 and 10 ratios, 7 and 10 ratios. It's not gonna pack down like that. And this is more of that fluffy snow, potentially 10-1 ratios, all the way up to 12-10 ratios. So much more of a powdery type snow and going to accumulate a little bit faster. And some of these snowfall rates I am seeing, an inch an hour, inch and a half an hour, definitely could overproduce the system into being like another 4 to 8 events. I wouldn't be surprised at most. But snow showers continue. Even New England gets in some of the mix. That's why I put them for 1 to 2 inches, but with some of these showers there. Um, we take a look at the NAM model as of right now, and I mean, let's look. Doesn't get in here into about 12 a.m. I think that's actually wrong. I think it's wrong, but once again, a bit more on the aggressive. Not really. It's boom. There it is. A little bit of having that northern push, heavier, and it doesn't finish until like 10 in the morning. So a little bit on the later side. And it becomes a pretty nice slider and actually develops off the East Coast as a pretty strong low. If we're looking at total snow accumulations, wow. Yeah. The NAM a bit more aggressive. I mean, you got that 3 to 6 or 4 to 6, pretty much where my totals are. You're looking at a lot of fives, a lot of fours, even in New York getting a few inches, up here getting a few inches. So the accumulations have gone up. The storm has been a little bit more stronger than previous thought, and likelihood to be more of a problem. We're looking at the NAM coming out, and once pretty much the same thing too. A bit more north, a bit more stronger, and you're looking at maybe 3 to 6 inches, maybe a half a foot. And a lot of these areas still got 5 plus inches. So you're bringing this all into the table with already some snow on the ground. You're going to be adding back on. By the end of it all, you could be stepping into a good 11 plus inches. But even though the low continues to strengthen, I mean, pretty much strengthen pretty quickly, pretty rapidly once it gets off the East Coast and bad to see. Very precip type storm. It has a lot of precip, has a lot of things working with it. So Definitely on the possible side for an overproducer, but those are the models. All right, just some of them. I'll get more in detail later on, but if we look at the low pressure as of right now, take a look at the high res part to this. Let this load, loading pretty fast. There it is. A lot of precip, a lot of developing bands in this, and honestly, according to radar, it's already an inch an hour in some spots. So this can definitely, I'm telling you right now, this could definitely be an overproducer. I'm not gonna lie. The way things are looking on radar right now, how robust it's looking, it's pretty crazy. Let that load. And actually, as I'm speaking, now New York is expecting it 2 to 4 inches. They just got some winter weather advisories for 2 to 4 inches. And like I said, right there. So they might extend those winter storm warnings more into Philly. I wouldn't be surprised. But these bands, coming out of this storm already, really heavy snow for a lot of areas. I would say definitely on the receiving end, but a lot of snow already beginning to form on the northern part, actually the PA area. So hey, maybe it starts snowing in PA a little bit early today. I don't know, maybe. We're gonna look at radar and then that's it. I'll have another video tonight, more on what the National Weather Service is thinking. Pull up those maps, but that's what I'm saying. Snow is about to be making its way in PA, and the radar is actually starting to fill in. You're getting some of these snow showers to be getting some snow to start stretching on, but look how heavy the snow is coming down. Like in Indianapolis, Springfield, St. Louis, and these areas. You got some pretty heavy snow, and it's supposed to get heavier. It's supposed to continue to congeal, form into a stronger low, but wow, that's already looking pretty robust to me. We go back an hour or two ago, there it was snowing pretty good. And now look, you got a very nasty band. If you guys can tell where the heaviest band is, one of them near Decatur, um, Alatone, just north of St. Louis. Look at that stripe. That's probably an inch to an inch and a half an hour. Pretty much anywhere in this area. That's a huge swath of very heavy snow. I have to admit that. Let's go into 5 p.m. Actually, let's just go to 9. Let's just go to 9 p.m. what they are forecasting, and boom. Future radar. Heavy snow. All and up down PA. This is what I'm saying. So definitely I'm thinking a few snow accumulations. But let's look at this one last time. Make sure we ain't getting any new 6 reports or 6-inch reports or anything. We'll look at this later on. I feel like we're gonna probably point out a few sixes as more totals come out, but a lot of fives already, a lot of threes. Yeah. So that's it. I'll have another update later tonight. See you guys later. If you have any comments, leave them down below.